I've worked in East Sussex for many, many years, but I've also left. But what's interesting is that I've come back again. I've worked for other local authorities, I've come back again. So there's something about this place, and it's partly to do with the geography. It is really beautiful living somewhere where you are so close to the sea, but you're also very near to the downs. We've got some really lovely urban areas, which are really complicated and got lots of interesting people living in. We also have these large swathes of rural countryside, which is just beautiful, but also has its own protected characteristics that we need to consider, and rurality has become an East Sussex protected characteristic, and I think that's a real nod towards what kind of county we are, that we really do want to do a good job.
Yeah, it's been very wonderful working for East Sussex. One thing I think I cannot overemphasize is the support. Support is something I knew I didn't want to compromise when I was making my decision. I'm quite new in the UK, so I just wanted a place that would be like home, a place where I'll feel supported, a place where I'll feel belong.
My whole nearly 10 years has been a learning curve. You know, every day is different, every case is different. In this job you learn every day, and you know, every day to me is fascinating. It's working together when we very much have that here, that we all, you know, discuss. We got, you know, so much supervision and support from everybody. So that's what I like working here, because you're very much supported in any way.
The assessed and supported year in employment is a full year, firstly. And what we do is we ensure that every newly qualified social worker who comes into the organisation has an opportunity to do this year. We provide a training programme which is for the whole year and involves some of the sort of induction programme that you would expect when you start in the local authority, but also more intensive support around things like motivational interviewing and being able to explore, as I say, the theoretical knowledge you've already learned, but into a practical application. So we're quite unique. We have a social work education team that actually straddles both children's and adult services. So they're providing support for all newly qualified social workers coming into the organisation. So there's lots of elements of support really there to kind of enable the person to be the best they can at the end of their first year, in recognition of the need to continue to provide support for social workers as they move into their second year.
Having that, you get half a day, we can take it as half a day or a full day every 2 weeks, having that ASYE protected time, so you have time to sort of reflect, and having a break, having a protected caseload has helped. So you have time to actually think about, you know, what we're doing as social workers and why, and the impact it has.
The training opportunities that are offered at East Sussex are really good. Lots of continuing professional development is always encouraged from managers.
Yeah, so I received a lot of support through my ASYE from the social work education team, my managers, my team, the uni, a lot of support. So I had a capped caseload, I had really frequent supervisions, but also your peers on that course as well.
Some of the staff who have decided to stay with us and develop their career further, that they've become best interest assessors. These are people that have done their newly qualified year with us, who are now have now completed their practice education qualification, so are now supporting students and newly qualified social workers themselves. So this stretch is really, really exciting, that we've got people that are developing their career. So we've got professional development, but also people who are senior practitioners and now practice managers who have done their ASYE with us. We need people who have been through that whole journey, who've got that level of experience to be the people that are then supporting others to develop their career and supporting the people that are in our community.
People with a learning disability can get talked over or decisions made for them, and so a lot of what I do is to make sure that their voice is heard and that they are the centre of any work.
So, you know, I've seen really good outcomes for people, whether it's not necessarily what they think when you start. It's about helping support people to come to decisions and outcomes on their own and helping them to have sort of a positive outcome for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me the main thing that I feel that where I impact people is when I really advocate for what they want. I find that a lot of the job is kind of juggling maybe what society or what families believe should happen to someone, and I quite enjoy challenging people on that. Whether that's professionals or family members, friends. So I think it's just, in terms of where I feel that I make the most difference, is just making sure that I've always given my clients choices and informed choices as well.
What drives me is a genuine belief that social work is transformational. It changes lives.